Hello once again, Jose Rodriguez here. I am on a roll making lots of videos today. Someone asked a really neat question. They want to create note cards or greeting cards. And Red River sells fantastic stock already pre-scored for you. The only problem is they are such odd sizes, okay? So here is pre-scored glossy paper. I don't know whether you can tell, I almost dropped them, but there is a score right along the midpoint. That allows you to, once you print them, to easily just fold them over perfectly. Here's the problem, 9 by 6.5 inches. 9 by 6.5. That's not a standard size, is it? You have to create a custom paper size. Well, on some printers, you cannot go beyond or less than 8 by 10. So how the heck would you print on something like this? You would have to create some sort of carrier, and it can really be a pain. Your goal is to arrive at this. Okay, and I made these on the Pro-1 when I used to have it sitting right here. Okay, and I have envelopes that go with it right here, and so on. So you could buy all of this material from Red River. But what if you have something like the Pro-2000 or the 4000? They have minimum sizes you can print on. They usually are not smaller than 8 by 10. So those printers, let me put this over here, are not at all designed for you to be printing 4 by 6 or 5 by 7s. No, the minimum smallest size you can print on is 8 by 10. So what would you have to do? Well, imagine what a pain this is going to be. I'm going to try to describe the process. I got to go back over here. You would need some sort of carrier, okay? And in the case of, for instance, let's just make believe this will not print on that size paper. I cannot create a custom size that is smaller than, say, 8 by 10. Well, that is 8 by 10 is bigger than this, okay, already. So I cannot, basically use that paper and print greeting cards on this printer because it might be limited to 8 by 10 minimum size. What do? Take a larger piece of paper, locate exactly where that paper would be centered. This particular paper here. In other words, you're going to make a carrier for it. Well, at first you might think, oh, voila, that's exactly what I need to do. That will solve the problem. You would have to create a bunch of these carrier pages and then somehow have some marks. So you will pre-print a bunch of these carriers so that you can locate this like within 0.5 millimeter and then feed it and then create a matching template on your editing application to allow you to then drop images where they're supposed to be. For instance, if this is the piece of stock, then I want my image on the lower half and looking down. In other words, it will be open. It will be open this way. So you would have to create a template to allow you to then locate your images that you're going to be printing or your graphics that you're going to be printing on these particular pieces of stock, greeting card stock. And this will be a sacrificial carrier. And then you just send it through the printer. And you're also relying on the printer's location, paper location accuracy as well. So for something like the Pro-1, Pro-10, Pro-100, anything that will allow you to print smaller than 8 by 10, in other words, will allow you to create a custom size, you would not have a problem. Those I printed on the Pro-1 without a problem. I've done it on the Pro-100 as well without a problem because it allows me to create a custom paper size. What was it? 9 by 6.5, 6.25 inches wide. 6.25 by 9. and then I go to Photoshop, create a template, and all I got to do is drop images within that imaginary window. They are self-centered, and then I go ahead and print them directly using my custom paper size. Not so on larger format printers because they don't allow you to go below 8 by 10. So this might be a way for you to be able to print those on such a model of printer. Again, they're not meant for that, folks. So if you happen to have one of those, Pro 2000, Pro 4000 or larger, just invest on a smaller printer if we're going to be producing a lot of these types of greeting cards. It's just not convenient. And I just wanted to clarify that to the poster of this question, that yeah, you can do it by doing this kind of trick. Because yeah, letter size is perfect. It will see it. But you have to be able to at least print some kind of alignment little marks on it for you to then very carefully tape the scored media on top of that carrier. I don't know how you're going to do that. Maybe on the non-printable border, possibly. Just somehow to allow you to then feed it and have it print on that, and then you just peel off your actual card. I cannot come up with anything else that you could possibly do. Again, this is strictly for printers that have a minimum size of like 8 by 10. In other words, 5 by 7s cannot be printed on them directly. You just cannot. All right, if you guys have any other ideas on how to pull this trick, let me know below. I will pass that on to the person who asked me, and maybe they can go ahead and put that large format printer to the intended use that they want to use it for. Okay, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And until the next time, once again, happy printing. In this case, happy greeting card printing. There you go. Bye-bye, everyone.